Hi all, welcome to part 21 for practice your ROR cards with me. ROR cards of course refer to rule of the rolls, and if you are going for orals there is a high possibility that you may be shown a few of these cards and you will have to identify it, and that is the whole purpose of making these videos. The links to the previous 20 parts are in the description section below. Please make sure that you go through those parts as well, because each part actually comprises of a set of different 8 to 9 cards, so it will be good for you to practice all of them. The first card here today is what you see as a white light and then a red light below it. Now this can be a power driven vessel which is less than 50 meters underway, seen from port side. It is less than 50 meters because you can see only one masthead light, otherwise you would have seen two of the white lights. It is underway because you can see the side light, and the side light is a port light or the red light. That's why you can say that this vessel is port side can be seen. If you see this vessel, sound one shot blast, alter your course to starboard and pass stern of this vessel, because you are pretty much the giveaway vessel. In this case, this is a crossing vessel. This vessel will display no day signal, and the fog signal for this vessel will be making way, one prolonged blast, but if it is stopped, then two prolonged blast with 2 seconds interval between. The second vessel here has three green lights in a triangular format, and whenever you see that, you should immediately know that this is a mine clearance vessel. Other than that, this is a mine clearance vessel which is seen from a stern, because the white light below indicates that this might be the stern light, or this could be a mine clearance vessel which is at anchor, but it must be less than 50 meters, because if it was more than 50 meters then you would see another masthead light, or another anchor light, not masthead light but another anchor light, because anchor lights are 360 degrees around, so you would have seen the other anchor light as well. If you see this vessel, then sound two shot blast, alter your course to port and pass more than 1000 meters clear of this vessel. This vessel will display three balls during the day, one at the foremast head and one at each end of the foreyard. Also, if the vessel is at anchor, then the vessel will display a ball in the forward part of the vessel. The fog signal for this vessel will be one prolonged and two short blast. The third card today is displaying two red lights in a vertical line, and when you see two red lights in a vertical line, this pretty much indicates that this is a not under command vessel, but because you see the white light below it, this is a not under command vessel, maybe making way, seen from a stern, or it could be a ground vessel, because the two red lights also indicate a ground vessel, but if it is less than 50 meters, because you see only one white light. If you see this vessel, you should sound one shot blast and alter course to starboard, or one shot blast, alter course to starboard and reverse the course, and inform master if this is an aground vessel. So whenever you see an aground vessel, you should reverse the course, because if you were not expecting vessels to go aground, there are no shallow patches, and then this could be a surprise for you, and you are better off turning the vessel around on a reciprocal course, call the master, and then inspect or investigate why the other vessel has gone aground. And this vessel will display two balls in a vertical line if it is a not under command vessel, but three balls in a vertical line if it is a ground vessel. The fog signal for this vessel would be one prolonged and two short blast, or three strokes on bell before and after rapid ringing of bell for 5 seconds, and it may also sound two short and one prolonged blast if it is an aground vessel. Again, this card is very similar to the previous card, and so I will not take you through that. There's no point, it's just the same card. However, you can see the positioning of the stern light or the masthead light is a bit different. So when I say stern light, that would be in the case of a not under command vessel, and if I'm saying it's a masthead light, then it's the case of the aground vessel. The next card here displays a red over white in a vertical line. So whenever you see a red over light in a vertical line, you should immediately know this is a fishing vessel other than a trawler. The only way you can get confused is if you see white over red in a vertical line, that would mean that it's a pilot vessel. So if it's red over white, it's a fishing vessel other than trawler. Here the gear is extending more than 150 meters, because you see the white light just below the red over white. That is in the direction of the extension of the gear. Then the bottommost white light is indicating that this must be a stern light, and so you can say that this fishing vessel is making way and you are observing this vessel from the stern point of view. If you see this vessel, sound one shot blast and alter your course to starboard. Stay clear of the vessel. This vessel will display two cones with apexes together in a vertical line because it's a fishing vessel, and also a cone with apex upwards in direction of the gear. So during the night you have the white light, but during the day you have the cone indicating the direction of the gear. This vessel will sound one prolonged followed by two shot blast as the fog signal. Then we have the pilot vessel underway here, and that's good that this card has come right after the previous card, because this is what I was telling you. If you see a white over red instead of a red over white, and that indicates that this is a pilot vessel. And again, because you see the white light at the bottom, this could be the stern light, so you are observing this vessel from the stern, or this could be a pilot vessel which is less than 50 meters but at anchor, because if it was more than 50 meters you would see another white light. If you see this vessel, sound one shot blast, alter your course to starboard, make a broad alteration, keep clear of it. The pilot vessel will of course display the flag hotel as per International Code of Signals. Hotel indicates that there is a pilot on board, and if the vessel is at anchor, then it will also show a ball in the forward part of the vessel, a ball as a shape. The fog signal for this vessel, if making way, is one prolonged blast. If it is stopped, then two prolonged blasts with 2 seconds interval in between. If the vessel is also anchored, then rapid ringing of the bell for 5 seconds, and additionally 4 short blasts may be sounded because it is a pilot vessel. This one is very similar to the previous or two cards previous. This is also a fishing vessel. You have the red over white, and again it is gear is extending more than 150 meters, because you see the white light immediately below the red over white is in the direction of the extension of the gear. The last white light, or the bottommost white light rather, indicates that you are seeing this vessel from the stern. This is the stern light. This is the stern view. As soon as you see this vessel, you can sound one shot blast, alter your course to port. See, the thing that you should note here is sometimes the action is to port, sometimes is to starboard. I would suggest that always alter your course away from the extension of the gear. So if you remember the card previous to this, I was not very happy with the action, is because the gear was extending to starboard, and it was also a stern view, and the card said that you must alter your course to starboard as well. I would advise you not to do that. I would advise you to alter your course to port, like in this case, because here you can see the gear is extending to the starboard side if you are viewing this vessel from the stern. So better not to go in the direction of the extension of the gear. You should go away from the direction of the extension of the gear. Again, altering course to port should not be a problem. As a power driven vessel, it is your duty to keep clear of the fishing vessels, especially the ones which are fishing with the extension of gear. And I know by practices of seamanship, alteration of course is to port is a little bit frowned upon, but if you have sufficient sea room, why not go for it and keep clear of the gears. So yeah, that is my tip to you. This vessel, because it's a fishing vessel, will show two cones with apexes together in a vertical line, because that indicates that this is a fishing vessel or a trawler. And it will also show a cone with apex upwards in direction of the gear, because here the gear is extending more than 150 meters. The fog signal for this vessel would be one prolonged and two short blast. This one is a power driven vessel. This is the simplest one that you can find probably. I really wonder whether they will show this to you in the exam or not, but this is like the most simplest one. This is a power driven vessel which is probably 50 meters or more, because you see two mast headlights, two white lights, and it's underway because you can see the port side light, so it's underway. This vessel, if you see this vessel, you will maintain course and speed, because this becomes pretty much the giveaway vessel. We become the stand-on vessel because you are seeing the starboard side of this vessel. So this vessel is supposed to be taking action and keeping clear of us, that is the stand-on vessel. Because it's a normal power-driven vessel, it will not show any kind of day signal, but the fog signal will be one prolonged blast if it is making way, but if it's stopped, then two prolonged blasts with 2 seconds interval in between.